Now we'll create the extras included section. So we'll go up here to the top, click Enable Visual Builder, scroll down, and we'll create a new section by clicking this blue circle. I want it to be a regular section, and I want it to be a 1-column row. And I'll create a text module. Click Text. For now I'm going to close this, because first I want to put in my background, and it's going to be a color gradient overlay. So I'll come over here, click the gear icon, click Background, and if I click here, it allows me to add a background gradient. This is the default gradient color, but I want to change the colors. So I'll click the first color, and I have my colors saved. So I'll go to my website folder again. Colors. Open this. And here's my first color. So I'll copy it. Close this. I'm going to highlight the hex code here. Right click. Paste. Click the green check mark. Now I'll add my second color. Copy. Close this. Highlight. Right click. Paste. Click the green check mark. There we go. If I come down here, I can change some of the settings of the gradient. I can make it radial if I want, and you can see it's purple here, but then it comes out to light blue on the edges. I'll leave it linear. Here I can change the gradient direction just by moving this toggle slider. I'm going to make mine 25 degrees. Here I can change the start position, make it 40%, and here I can change the end position. You can see it goes from blur to sharp. So I'm going to leave it at 60%. And here you can see it's purplish, and here it's blue. And because I want it to be over top of my image, I'm going to click this button here, place gradient above background image, so that when I add my background image, the gradient will be above it. And I'm going to do that right now. Click Add Background Image, Upload Files, Select Files, and here's my background image. Click Upload an Image. You can already see the color gradient over top of the image. It looks pretty. Okay, I'm going to save that. Don't have much room here, so I'm going to come down here. And you see when the cursor arrow changes, I'm going to click and drag. I keep doing this. Give myself enough room. Okay. Now I'm going to add the text module here. So click the gear icon. Delete this. I'm going to center the text. And now I'm going to add it as a heading 4. Go to Design, Heading Text. I'll click H4 since it's a heading 4. I'm going to change the font. I'll use Montserrat. I'll keep it regular. I want the text color to be white. Text size is good. I want to add a text shadow. So I'll choose this one. And I want the shadow to be a little bit lower. So I'll change this to 0.15. And you can see it brings it lower, further away from the text. Okay, that looks good. Now I want to add a divider. So you can see it's not letting me add another text module or divider module. So what we'll do is we'll click this purple menu, come over here to the wireframe icon, click that, and here's our section we're working on right now. So I'll click this gray circle to add a new module, type in divider, click divider, and I can close this, scroll down, and you can see our divider. So I'm going to change it to white, and I want to change the size. I want the max width to be 12%. I want it to align in the center. Now, as you can see, when I click, nothing happens. Because I'm not going by script, sometimes these things happen as you're building a website, but nothing to worry about. Add the 0 here. I'm going to go to the back end and I'll show you how to change it on the back end. So we'll save our changes. Save this. I'm going to exit the Visual Builder. Click Edit Page. And I'll scroll down. Here's our divider. We'll click the module settings. We'll go to Design. Scroll down. And we need to get to module alignment right here. So I'm going to type in center. I should type that in. Save and exit. And now if I scroll up, I can preview the changes to make sure it worked. There we go. You can see it's in the center now. So I'll click this off. And now we have to update the page. And you can either click View Page here or View Page here. Once it finishes updating, there we go. I'll click View Page. Scroll down. And now we can enable the Visual Builder again. It's a little bit lower than I want it, so I'm going to click the gear icon and I'll change the spacing and I'll bring it up further by typing in -25 for the top margin. I'll save that. Save the page. There we go. Now we'll create the second text module. So I'll come over here and you can see it's kind of giving me trouble. So we'll have to go to the wireframe again. Click the gray circle. Type text. Click text. Turn off the wireframe. Scroll down. Type in my text. I want to make this bold, so I highlight and then click B. See, it makes it bold over here. It's kind of hard to see. I'm going to leave it as a paragraph. I want to center it though. I'm going to go to Design, and this time, since it's a paragraph, we're just going to go to Text. I'm going to make the font Montserrat, and this time I want it to be light. I want the text to be white. I'll just change the text size to 36. Make it nice and large. There we go. That looks good. And I'm going to add the text line height. I'm going to make it 1.8. Bring it a little bit lower. And I'll add a text shadow as well. That's looking beautiful. Okay. And I want to bring it up a little bit higher. So we're going to go to spacing. And we'll bring it to -25 as well. There we go. Click Save. Save the changes. Save here. That's looking nice. I like how that's looking. Now, before I add the blurb modules, I want to give this a parallax display. So what I want to do is, when I scroll this, I want this background image to move independently from the foreground text and whatever else I have on the foreground, which will be blurbs. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to come in here to the section module, click the gear icon. But if I go to background image, and I click Use Parallax Effect, which is what we want, you can see that we lose our color gradient overlay. Unfortunately, as of now with Divi, right out of the box, you can't have the parallax effect with the color gradient overlay. But don't worry, I'm going to give you some CSS code I provided in the video description below the video. And right now I'm going to show you exactly where to copy and paste it so that we can have the best of both worlds. We'll have our parallax effect and our beautiful color gradient overlay. So I'm going to turn this off for now. And I'm going to save this. Save the page. And we're going to have to go to the back end. So we'll exit the Visual Builder. We'll click Edit Page. I'm going to click the Settings menu again. And here you can see it says Custom CSS. So I'm going to scroll down. Give us some extra room. And now I'm going to go to my Custom CSS, which is in my website folder again. Homepage, Extras Included section, Custom CSS. I'll open this. And this is our custom CSS right here. So you want to highlight, right click, copy, close that, come in here, right click, paste. Then you want to save, update, and now we'll go to View Page, Enable Visual Builder, we'll scroll down, go back to the section module, click the gear icon, go to Advanced tab, CSS ID and Classes, and now we have to put in the CSS class so that our custom CSS works. So go back here. Here's our custom CSS class that we put in the section module. So we highlight this, right click, copy, right click, paste. Save the changes. And you can see nothing's happened yet because I haven't turned on the true parallax yet. So we'll go over here to the gear icon, background, image, scroll down, use parallax effect, and there we go. Save the changes. And now you can see we have our beautiful parallax background with our color gradient overlay on top of it. And as I scroll, you can see it looks like it moves independently from the foreground. I'm going to click here, click Save to save our changes. And there we go. It's looking very professional. Now let's create some sassy little blurb modules. So we'll come over here, click the green circle to add a new row. This time I'm going to use a 3-column setup. And since I'm creating a blurb, I'll start typing blurb. Click blurb. I'm going to give my blurb a title. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to leave the dummy text there. Click image and icon. And this time, instead of an image, I want to use an icon. I'll click use icon. As you can see, Divi gives you plenty of icons to choose from. I'm going to scroll down here and choose a headphone icon. That looks good. Now I want to style my icon, so I'll go to design, image and icon. I'm going to change the color. I'm going to click the green check mark. Now I'm going to style the title text. I'm going to change the font to Montserrat. I'm going to change the weight to light. I'm going to change the text color to white. And I'm going to change the text size to 30. Make it nice and big. I also want to center align the text. And I want more space between the title text and the body text. So I'm going to change the title line height to 1.8. And as you can see, as I move to the right, the space gets larger. That looks good. Now let's style the body text. I'm going to change the font to Arial. I'm going to leave it regular. change the color of the white, and I'm going to change it to 16 pixels. That looks good. I'm going to save that. Now I'm going to add a button, so I'll click this gray circle to add a button module. Click button. I'm going to change the button text. I'm going to link to my button. For the sake of this tutorial, I'll just put a hashtag here. Otherwise, I would type out the URL of the link. Now I want to style my button. So I'll go to Design. I'm going to center align my button. So I'll click here. Click Button. And I'm going to click Use Custom Styles for Button. I'm going to leave the button text size at 20. I'm going to change the button text color to match my icon. Click the green check mark. For the button background color, I don't want there to be any color until the person hovers over it. So we're going to come up here and we're going to click the hover icon, which is this arrow. For default, I don't want any color, but for hover, I'm going to click hover and I'm going to add a background color for the button. I'm going to click the green check mark. So if I click default, there won't be any color, but then when the person hovers over it, you'll see the background color. That looks nice. I'm going to change the button border radius. I want some more rounded corners here. So I'm going to take this slider and slide to the right, and you can see the corners become more rounded. The button letter spacing, I'm going to change the 1. I want more spacing between the letters. That looks good. And I'm going to go up here, close this, and I want my button to be just a little bit lower. So we'll go to spacing, and I'm going to give it a top margin of 35. There we go. I'm going to save the changes. I'm going to save the page. Now as you can see, my elements here, my icon, my text, my button, just look like they're floating on the page. That doesn't look very nice. I want to have some more structure. I want to put a background color behind it. So I'm going to come up here to the green menu for the row settings, click the gear icon. I'm going to go to Design, Sizing, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a custom gutter width. And I'm going to change this to 4. And I'm going to equalize the column heights as well. I'm going to go back to Content, and I'm going to go to the gear icon for the first column, and I want to give my column a background color, so I'll click Background, and I'm going to give it a background color of black, but I don't want this black block here, so I'm going to change the opacity by clicking the gear icon, and this is the opacity slider, so I'm going to slide this down, and you'll see as I slide down it becomes more transparent. I'll take it down to 33. That looks good. Click the green check mark. Next, I don't want these sharp corners. So I'm going to go back to Design. I'm going to go to Border. And I'm going to change this to 4 pixels. And you can see as I increase the pixel count, my corners become more rounded. But I'm going to keep it at 4. That looks nice. Finally, I want to have more space between, you can see how the text goes right up against the block here, the edge. I want to have some space between there, all around. Same with the icon and the button on the right side. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to go to spacing, and I'm going to add some padding. I'll add 15 pixels. And you can see now I have some nice space between my elements and the block background here. That looks good. I'm going to go back to Content. And now, instead of clicking here, creating a new blurb, changing the title, creating another button, doing all the styling, and same here, there's an easier way to do that. Quicker and easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to column settings. And these are the settings for the second and third column, which would be right here and right here. So we're going to trash those. And now I'm going to clone the first column, and I'll clone the second column. And now you can see we have our 3 columns exactly the same, and now I just have to change the title and the icon. So we'll do the second one first. I'm going to save the changes here. I'm going to go in here, click the gear icon, change the title. I'm going to scroll down here, click image and icon, and I'm going to choose a different icon for this one. Let's see here. I'm going to choose this picture icon. There we go. Save the changes. Go to the last column. Click the gear icon. Change my title. I'm going to scroll down. Click image and icon. And I'm going to give this a different icon as well. And let me see, the icon I want is right here. There we go. That looks nice. Save the changes. Okay. I changed my mind. I want my button text to be all capitals. So there's an easy way to change all 3 buttons at once. I'm going to click the gear icon on the first button. I'm going to go to Design, Button. I'm going to come down here, and where it says Button Font Style, I'm going to click this button here. And you can see it changes all capitals. I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to click these 3 dots. I'll show you how to extend the button styles. Let's click Extend Button Styles. And I want to extend the styles of this button to all the buttons, but not all the buttons throughout the page, because then we would change the button in the header that we already made. So I'm going to change this to this row. I'm going to change all the buttons in this row. When we're ready, we click Extend, and you can see it changed these to a capital as well. Simple as that. Divi makes it so quick and easy. I'm going to save the changes, and I'm going to save the page. I'm going to exit the Visual Builder. And now you can see our beautiful parallax color overlay as we scroll. And when I hover over these buttons, you see the background color change. One more thing, I want to get rid of this icon. So go back, click Enable Visual Builder. I'm going to come down here, and again I'm going to extend the styles. So I'll go here, Design, Button, Show Button Icon. I'm going to click that to no. Click these 3 dots. This time I'm going to copy the Show Button icon. I'll show you how to do this a different way. Save this. I'm going to right click here, paste Show Button icon, right click, paste Show Button icon. Now I'm going to save the page by clicking this purple circle. That opens up the menu. Click Save. I'm going to exit the Visual Builder. And now when I hover, it doesn't show the button icon. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and I'm going to clean this up a little bit. Looks too cluttered. I'm going to get rid of these. And get rid of this as well. That looks good. And now we'll go back and enable the Visual Builder. I like that. That looks really good.